2, 3.
Welcome to the Smartest Amazon Seller Podcast. I am your host, Scott Needham. I am an Amazon seller, and I am still, I've been doing this podcast for, a year and a half, and I am still learning. And I'm learning things that I should have known years ago. And this episode is something that I wish I had already been using, because I think it is one of a kind in how you can launch products. So I've got with me Paul Harvey, the founder of sellerchatbot.com. Paul, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, good and yourself, Scott.
So Seller Chatbot is very similar to Manychat. Many people have heard of Manychat. That's kind of a well-known industry tool. But what Paul has created is something very similar, but more focused and targeted to sellers. So tell us a little bit more about Seller Chatbot.
Yeah, so pretty much honestly assume that I was one of the first Amazon sellers that really used Manychat. Before Manychat could send out one-time use coupon codes, we actually created a little snippet of code that could do it for us. We thought we were cool and thought, okay, great. Now, would it be easier if we created our own chatbot platform? We were yeah, let's take on Manychat. We didn't realize at the time that Manychat has a lot of money in the bank and a whole team of really smart developers that are way smarter than we could ever be. So that being said, we wanted to take Manychat because Manychat is awesome, but it's a jack of all trades, meaning that you first have to learn the process, learn the platform, and only then can you implement it into your business. So we wanted to take the learning curve out of all that stuff, and we created our own platform based on, personally, I used Manychat a lot in the past couple of years. So I based off the strategies we built on there and created our own platform where people can just plug and play, no learning curve, just take the strategies I use right now and use them from day one.
Oh, that's awesome. So I do have hesitation anytime I'm learning a new technology. You're always in that first phase of how do I do this and that? It's rough. There's a learning curve, and you get things wrong, and sometimes getting things wrong costs you money. But you have inside of what's best of Manychat, kind of like a framework where it's you're being handheld through the process. Is that right?
Pretty much, exactly that. When we created our platform, we actually realized something. We created a platform and gave out all our best strategies. So some of the strategies which you only come across in really big level masterminds were free on our platform just for our subscribers. And it was great. It really was. But then we realized you can give everyone the keys to the kingdom. It doesn't mean they will use them. So then we found that we had some really, people loved our stuff, but just no one had the time to implement it. Although we do try to make life as easy as possible, people still kind of have to learn the concept of chatbots and Facebook ads. So then we said, okay, how can we better serve our clients? And we realized, okay, if someone's not going to use our platform, we will use it on their behalf. But obviously, you got to pay a higher rate for that because we are using the platform.
Oh, so you guys kind of offer the service as well.
Pretty much. What we do is we offer our own launch and rebate service.
Awesome.
And with that, we do some really cool things. And we've spent right now, I would say, over the past 6 months, $25,000 on one rebate flow. We've used this one flow, which is literally free for all the people, subscribers of Seller Chatbot. So they can use that flow, figure out how to do the Facebook ads, absolutely, or just kind of give it up and let us do it for them.
Right. Well, I want to dive in and tease out, I'm going to be launching a product. We've got that's a very simple product. I'm actually going to tell you what it is. It's just a bunch of puzzles, but we think there's a very specific part of puzzles that we see an opportunity. And so I feel pretty good about the product. If I were to be using, Seller Chatbot to help launch these products and get them attention, tell me what's actually going to happen as I use it. So we got to say our products are live. They're in Amazon FBA right now. We got to create, what are the first few steps?
So pretty much, first of all, is that with chatbots, everyone has kind of likes to brag about chatbots saying, I can do this. I have so many chatbot flows. Look at me. I'm awesome. But at the end of the day, people only use chatbots for two things: launches and reviews. And secondly, reviews from launches means you're getting reviews from rebates, you're breaking TOS. So that can't be scaled. So people pretty much only use chatbots to launch or just re-rank. That's the first thing. So now if you want to do that, you come and use chatbots. Step one, first set up your chatbot flow. If you have Manychat, that's great. Learn to use Manychat, or maybe take someone's Manychat flow, tweak it, so on and so forth.
What do you mean by what do you mean by a flow?
So basically, in a chatbot flow, you're going to create the conversational sequence to walk your customer through the buying process. So you're going to tell them, this is a chatbot. I hope you're awesome. Any questions, just reply. One of the customer service agents will be in place. But in the meantime, I can walk you through the buying process. This is the product. This is the keyword. Please go buy on Amazon. Come back here and tell us when you have, so we can verify it and give you your rebate if we're doing rebates.
Right. Okay, so that's when you're offering a product through a rebate, and that's sorry to break it down to just like the most basic level, because some people, this may be a first time they've ever heard it, and I'm sure others have used it. So this is using where you're finding people to to take your product and say, I've got my puzzles, and I'm getting sales through the chatbot. How does the chatbot find people?
So what we do is, step one is we create a Facebook ad saying, here's your product, whatever the rebate amount is. Maybe you're doing a discount, maybe you're doing 80% or 20%, whatever you're offering. You create a Facebook ad with that image and the description as well. Then when people click on the Facebook ad, it triggers Messenger to open. Messenger will open on their mobile device or computer, whatever they're using, and it will trigger the chatbot. The chatbot will say, hey, I'm the chatbot, or whatever, and you can program it to answer yes or no questions towards the customer. The customer will say, do you want this product? Yes or no? They say yes. We'll then walk them down the buying process.
Okay, and so that's kind of the sequence that you were talking about earlier. Okay. And this is like a ranking strategy. You suggest where you put in a keyword that they search to find your product, using the search find by. Do you ever use those like magic links from like, say, Helium 10, or what's your thoughts on that?
So pretty much my idea is that when we do these rebate flows, if you're doing search find by, you're doing it because you want to say to Amazon, this is organic traffic. It's not kind of like gamified traffic that you're causing to rank. You don't want Amazon to know that you're kind of trying to get one up and rank better. So by doing that, we want to make sure our traffic comes across as organic as possible. So anything like super URLs or anything normal that's not normal buyer behavior, that screams to Amazon that you are kind of trying
what if your product is like on page 10?
Okay, so let's say you want to buy a pair of Reebok shoes. You will type in red shoes by Reebok or Reebok red shoes. So you always enter in the brand name and then the keyword. Brand name is Reebok, keyword is shoes.
Okay.
It's the same thing with your product. If you're on page 20 for baby blankets, you'll type in Baby Grow, baby blankets, if Baby Grow is your brand name, or baby blankets by Baby Grow. Both of those are exact examples of customer behavior.
It's gonna return on the first page because you're using the brand name, but by using that keyword adjacent to it, you're giving Amazon a correlation that this keyword converts well. Interesting. How many sales do you need before you feel like this is an effective campaign?
So pretty much that's a tough one. It really is, because we do dozens and dozens of launches every single month. And I wish I could say to you, it's a cookie cutter type of template we use, but we don't. Each and every single product is unique to its own. There are so many variables at play. For example, is the client running PPC while we run rebates? And how old and aged is the product? The more established it is, the harder it is to re-rank, because it's kind of like set in its ways. So there are too many factors at play. So what we recommend is go in batches of 50, 100, 150, and then do that for 2 weeks. So 50 or 100 over 2 weeks. Let's subside for a week. then look at the data and correlate it.
So every single one of these, say you do a batch of 50, if you're doing, a flow that often people use, you're giving them a full rebate. Is that right? Or do you go for an
It
80%?
depends on the strategy we're doing, but in our service we do full rebates. But if you're using this in your own chatbots, you can do whatever discount you
Right.
want.
So say you're doing a full rebate, that means what it costs you as the seller is the cost of goods. I'm just trying to think, like, say I got a $25 product
Mm.
and the FBA fee is $3 and say the product cost me $5. Each one of these rebates cost me $8. Is that right?
Yeah.
I mean, is that kind of
So,
the
yeah,
right
so
math?
pretty much is that if it's, let's say your product is $20 and you run at a 40% profit margin. So for every $20 sale, you get back $8. So then effectively the rebate actually only costs you $8 because
Oh,
you're giving the customer $20 back. You're getting 12 back when Amazon pays out, but then you're paying $8.
right,
If that
right.
makes sense. I know
No.
yeah.
Yeah, that does. That does. I just wanted to make sure, like, because when you launch a product, everyone now says, like, you really need a marketing budget. Very, very few products are going to just, you put it out there and
Yeah.
it's going to take off. That's kind of something of 10 years ago.
I missed that.
And, in your marketing budget, say you're going to launch something with, like, say $5,000. This is going to go a long way. It's going to go a long way in teaching Amazon, what your product is, what it's converting on, and it will get you that organic ranking faster than anything else. Do you have any other perspectives on what I just said? I mean, I made a claim or two right there that this is like a very smart use of marketing budget. How do
Well,
you?
bear in mind as well, people have to think of the long-term approach here. So, for example, we have, which is crazy, this is the day we're in right now. We have clients that have used our services for a good number of months. They're only using our service to send 1 to 2 rebates per day. That's it, but for a long period of time. And what they found is by kind of halving their PPC budget and using that budget on rebates, that now Amazon, what Amazon sees is targeted traffic coming in and buying their product as a byproduct, which is really weird, as a byproduct of good quality traffic and rebates. There will be a boost in organic traffic. So then that becomes more cost effective than a high PPC budget. Again, it's a case by case basis, but a lot of customers do actually report that.
What about you said something about like older products that been on the platform for 2, 3, 4 years, that this is a less effective strategy to work with them.
So basically for that, right, you got to think now in Amazon's eyes is that if they're looking at a product that's 3 years old, there's 3 years of sales history there. So for 3 years, if you've been on page 5, you're always going to deviate back to that. It's kind of like if you got a bad diet, you're always going to deviate back to your old weight when you're trying to lose weight because your old ways always set in. And Amazon assumes the same way with your products. So now to kind of buck the curve, instead of doing maybe an instance of 2 weeks of rebates to kind of like re-rank, it wouldn't be 2 weeks now. Could be 4 weeks, could be 6 weeks. Now it's got a longer campaign to kind of give a
Right.
better history to show Amazon you now want to rank.
My first thought there is to also coincide this, these rebates on an older product with somewhat of a marketing refresh. If you're able to improve your images, if you want to really, teach the algorithm that this product is good, you have to increase your conversion rate at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Make sure that you refresh your EBC, you refresh your hero image, something that can also just give this product a lift. That's really, this is super interesting and helpful. And I really want to use.
Actually, it's funny you say that, and you think it feels like it's common sense to make sure you have a good listing. We've had people coming through to us with really horrible listings, and I said to them, "Please change it." They never did. But I said, "Okay, you know what? We're just going to do it." Ran the campaigns, re-ranked them. Great. As soon as the rebates stopped, they plummeted. Not lower than they were before, but only dropped back because now it's relying on organic traffic and You
Yep.
can't convert organic traffic if you
Yep.
don't look good.
I mean, at the end of the day, a good product and good marketing are key. And this is essentially a tool to just kick something off from the beginning. You got my attention when you talked about Manychat and how this is an improvement on top of that is focused towards Amazon sellers. And so what a unique thing. I hope you'll be hearing from me soon as we launch and get things going. Maybe before we wrap up, if you have any comments on the Facebook advertising.
I'm actually writing a blog article on this today. So first of all is that I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. You should have started with rebates and chatbots, anyone listening, a long time ago. Because what's happened now is this. The whole rebate strategy with chatbots has been abused. So much so is that buyer quality is a thing. But now when you create Facebook ads, you get some really low quality customers. The type of customers always return stuff that aren't normal organic customers. And what Facebook has found is that these customers, Facebook knows they like these type of rebate ads. So when you create an ad, those customers see it first, and they will likely click on your ad. And you get people bragging, "Oh wow, I got 2-3 clicks a message." Yeah, you did, but you got low quality people. So please bear in mind, go through, those people will scam you. They will try return your product. Make sure you do your diligence when looking at that.
Interesting. Yep. So, go, and is this blog post that you're going to put on sellerchatbot.com on your website? Okay.
Yeah, it'll be there very soon.
Well, I'll check that out and share it with me when you finish. I want to read about it. So thank you, Paul, for joining and talking about this. I learned a lot, and I know this is a kind of a new concept to a lot of people. But to those that know it well and launch a lot, I'm sure that this may be a beginner level tutorial. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Have a good one. And to the audience, if you like what you heard, please go to sellerchatbot.com. You can learn more. And actually, if you have launched a product, using something like this, reach out to me. Let me know what you have found, and because I got to figure this out. And that's all I've got. Stay tuned next week.
1, 2, 3.